Hi! Welcome to Create Utopia, in which hosts Chicory and Zero muse over many issues in the style of so many modern millennials, all around the peaceful, flickering light of video games! We hope you enjoy it! Now on with the show! Hello, and welcome to Create Utopia and our brand new setup, in which you don't see me, but you can still hear me. What? What are we playing this week? Zero? Buddy?
We are continuing Chicory's love of Don't Starve to the point where we have actually got it so she can listen to the audio while we're playing.
Yay!
What are we talking about?
More applause. I'm just really excited. We're talking about America's autumn of Islamophobia. Hello, and welcome to Create Utopia and our brand new setup, in which you don't see me, but you can still hear me. What? What are we playing this week? Zero? Buddy?
We are continuing Chicory's love of Don't Starve to the point where we have actually got it so she can listen to the audio while we're playing.
Yay!
What are we talking about?
More applause. I'm just really excited. We're talking about America's autumn of Islamophobia. And how crappy
That sounds
that is.
exciting.
It is, and it has caused a lot of drama in my personal life, and I hate it. All of it.
All right, this is for those of you who tuned in last week. Listen carefully.
What? Oh, there's like bee noises and stuff, and I see you running around. Whoa!
You can hear me running through the grass.
Whoa! Did you throw in a log or something?
Yes.
Look at how wimbly his little legs look.
Yeah. Welcome to the future.
Dude, I love the future. As long as the future isn't Islamophobia.
Right, so let's get back on topic now that we've marveled at Steam.
What is that? Oh, it's a bee that was on the ground. And look, there's butterflies. Seeds?
We've been playing this game for a month now.
I'm just marveling at the noise. Like, I like the opening noise so much. And also, it's so much bigger and clearer, and it's just really nice.
Well, viewers, if this works out, then in the future, this is how we'll be doing our streaming.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Fuck anybody else. I mean, I hope.
Wait till you... Islamophobia.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to explain why the article is called that, first of all? Autumn of Islamophobia?
Oh, yeah. This is the autumn of Islamophobia after the summer of religious freedom. So it's
yes,
like,
quote unquote.
Yeah. So it's people have been defending the right to basically discriminate because of their religious views, so that they won't have to give marriage licenses to gay people or to same-sex couples, and they just want to do all kinds of other crazy things. What are some of the other crazy things they want to do? Just lots of things. They just
Well, yeah, like there's...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Meat bulb? That seems not great. Anyway,
Don't even worry about it.
It's before the war on Christianity of Christmas that's going to happen, because it happens every year now. And
It's true.
I just can't get over how much different this is. It's an entirely different experience. There was a monster! Watch out!
Are we gonna have to go back to the old experience because this is too distracting for you?
No, I like this. Oh, no!
You need to focus.
Okay, focusing. I'm focusing. I'll get used to it. I think as I become like more used to it, I'll
Okay.
novelty will wear off.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, anyway. And it's just after, like, people have just been hating on Islamic people, and they fear... I don't know, did we talk about this time before? They fear Islamic law while still wanting to, like, lord essentially Christian law over people? That's what I hate.
Yes, we have talked about that.
Oh, I hate it.
The desire to have a religious state, but not have a religious state that's not your religion. Oh,
Yeah.
I died. That was a great start.
Did you die?
I did.
You're not dying yet.
It's cool. We'll start a new game.
It says go for the edge.
Give
You're
it a
not
bit.
dead yet. Oh, you died.
All right, because Chicory is enamored by the new things we've learned in this game, I'm going to start a new file real quick, and then we're going to get into this topic, Chicory.
I'm so sorry.
Play, new game,
It just is
not Reign of Giants. Can I turn on zero delay? I should be able to. All right, you should be able to see Gentleman Scientist now.
Mm-hmm. Grows a magnificent beard. And then there's the girl.
Yep.
Go to the girl.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to see if I can decrease the delay, but we'll just deal with it.
Just have patience.
All right.
I do like that. I like, now that I can, like, more read, like, her little dialogue, it's cool. Okay, go to the other girl.
Did I unlock a new character? I did!
I'm
All
sorry.
right, you wanted to see Woody, the bereaved?
Yeah.
Give it a sec. I unlocked the robot.
Empathy module not responding. He's a picky eater. Oh, not a picky eater. Oh.
I think that means he can eat rotted food.
Huh.
And possibly evil meat.
I don't like the bereaved because he doesn't hit very hard, and I think you gotta, if you're gonna hit, you gotta mean it.
The bereaved.
Yeah, so not the bereaved.
The strong man. Wolfgang.
Oh, is he the one with the umlauts?
Probably. I don't ever play as him.
I am mighty. No one is mightier. Get stronger.
Do you want me to play as Wolfgang?
Yeah, Wolfgang. Wolfgang. Wolfie. We'll call him Wolfie for sure. For short.
All right. I'm starting a new game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to focus while we talk about how much you hate religion.
Okay. Okay. I can do this. I swear.
I believe in you. I've heard you rant about this. So now, so let's recap. Religion has
Okay.
been causing problems in your life.
Yeah.
We had a summer where everyone was like, religious freedom is so important. Religious freedom is so important. And then a 14-year-old kid gets arrested at his school for not having a bomb. And now everyone's like, religious freedom is bad. All Muslims are bad. We hate everyone all the time because they're religion.
No, well, okay. That's the trick of it, though, is they're not like, all religion is bad all the time. I think that's my issue with, Bill Mayer is talking in this thing about how, actually talking about the kid, where he's like, quote, people at the school thought it might be a bomb because it looks exactly like a fucking bomb, end quote. Then
Bill Mayer, bomb disposal expert.
Right? In consecutive instances that Muhammad's arrest was both not ethnic profiling and a perfectly justifiable example of ethnic profiling. It's not the color of his skin. For the last 30 years, it's been the one culture that has been blowing shit up over and over again. Which is bullshit. Because lots of people
Christians in this country.
Okay, well maybe Christians in this country also shoot things. I mean, maybe it would be more arguable to say that Christians shoot things instead of blow things up.
What about the guy, was it in Sweden, Anders Breivik, who, like, blew up a place and then went and attacked, like, a summer camp?
Oh yeah, but that was like several years ago. And
It's within the last decade.
Finland, I think.
Well,
Some fjord.
when they...
Oh, is that a beefalo? No, it's a pig.
No, it's not a beefalo.
It's a pig.
I'm going to try to find us some beefalo, though.
Okay, good luck.
Dang it.
Good luck, my friend.
Dude, this guy's hungry fast. Ah. Anyway, focus.
It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit because then he like is making fun of Christianity all of the time. And I'm not like super against that. I just am saying, you know, if you're gonna make fun of one religion, you gotta make fun of all religions. And I think it's really bullshit because he's saying, effectively what Bill Maher is saying is that it's not because he's like a person of color that he was like stereotyped, it's because of his religion. But stereotyping anybody should be considered wrong.
Well, Bill Maher is already the left's answer to Bill O'Reilly, so he's not the greatest source to begin with.
I just don't like him. He just seems like an over-make-it bashful. I shouldn't call him that, but I just personally disagree with him a lot.
Like, ignoring the Bill Maher problem, there is a thing in our country where we've made it socially acceptable to discriminate against a certain religion as if everyone in a religion is identical all the time. Because despite how many different Christian denominations we have in this country, and outright, and Jewish, and the fact that
Hindi.
not all Muslims are the same.
Whoa!
And Hindi, legit.
Sorry, I was thinking
And that's
about
an
the
important
people
thing.
at the Hare Krishna place that I'd go eat brunch.
You eat brunch at a Hare Krishna place?
Oh yeah, it's
Story
super-
time. No, seriously, share. This sounds. I didn't know this, and it sounds great.
Yeah, on Venice Boulevard in Culver City is a Sunday morning brunch at the Hare Krishna Community Center, and it's called Govinda's, and it's pretty cheap, and it's a little buffet thing, and it's blessed by Krishna before you eat it, and so you're eating good things, and it's all vegetarian, maybe vegan. I don't know if it's vegan. They might use eggs. I don't know. Or honey. But it's totally vegetarian, and it's really yummy. And then for one of my anthropology classes, we had to do like basically a mini ethnography. So I was like, well, I like Hare Krishna food. I'll just go work there and like hang out with these people.
You know, there are worse reasons.
Right? You gotta hang, if you're gonna be with people, I think that you should, you know, enjoy their food.
That sounds like your family. Like, as there are negative things to say about your family, but honestly, like, that sounds very much like something like your family would say. If you're gonna hang out with somebody, at least enjoy their food.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so I went and spent like maybe 20, 30 hours hanging out with them and helping them cook. And I went to a couple services and wrote about it and blah, blah, blah. I wrote like a 10-page paper. It was a mini ethnography. Mini. Not very big at all. It was fun. It was really nice. They're really wonderful people everyone that I met was really nice. And, well, except for like one little girl that was like a teenager.
Little girls, man.
She was a teenager, and teenagers are you know, whatever. I don't like to be
Are you going to
anything-
turn off our teenage base?
No! I'm sorry. I love you teenagers. You're always right or something. I don't know what teenagers want to hear anymore. I'm old.
Yeah, old Larry Chicory.
Anyway.
Known fact about you.
That's basically the end of the story. It's good food. I recommend it highly if you live in Los Angeles, Greater Los Angeles. It's worth the trip.
It's a legit story. I don't know that I have a Hare Krishna breakfast place near me. I'd eat there, especially since it's vegetarian.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, they don't like things that inflame the passion or promote ignorance, even in their food. So they don't cook with garlic or onions.
All right, well, I'm slightly against that, but like, so this would be an example of a religion you can get behind because they're like, your problem isn't really religion; it's kind of the ignorance that comes from religion.
Yeah.
Like, and when people promote this sort of thing, like we're talking about, where it's okay to hate on this religion, but if the slightest bad thing happens to a Christian, everyone starts like freaking out. But if something bad happens to a Muslim, it's like, well, they deserve it because they're Muslim, ignoring the fact that Christians all over the world do horrible things.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it okay to hate on Christians, but makes it particularly weird that you would single out someone else. Like, Christianity is about tolerance, and really a lot of the Christians who feel persecuted have more in common with these Muslims who are actually being persecuted. Like Ahmed Muhammad, legitimate persecution.
Yeah. And I think that that's like what was so crap about what Bill Mayer said, was that he's like, and a lot of other people in my family included, and high school friends and things that are like, well, but they are the ones that, you know, blow things up, like, as though they're the only ones. And also calling any religion a religion of, like, hate, I think is a little weird. Because, as though the rest of the religions are not a religion of hate. That's my issue, I guess, is I just don't see... I mean, there's religions that I think don't try to tell you so much what to do, but I think that they instill an unnecessary level of guilt sometimes, or maybe...
Well, you are married to a Catholic. Lapsed Catholic, I suppose, but if we're going to talk about an unnecessary amount of guilt...
Well, I was thinking about the Hare Krishna and, like, the food, you know what I mean? I'm just like...
Oh, fair.
Trife in Jewish religion, that you can't eat certain things. Don't tell me what to do! Mm-mm! I'm doing a head wobble and, like, finger point.
What have we lost to bring sound to our game?
Sorry. Anyway.
I'm not sure that this trade-off is worth it.
I'll just tell you what I'm doing, and we can share the game. I think it's worth it. The other problem is that I can't see all of the game. Like, I can't see your lower inventory or upper inventory.
Weird. Well, we're still prototyping. We'll figure that out later.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. It just freaking bothers me. Because either you don't... At this point, it seems like people from the GOP and other people that are Islamophobic don't want actual religious freedom. Ah, flower hats! They just want... They want to be able to oppress the people that they want to oppress without, like, having to think very hard about it. And they don't want to help
we've
people,
talked about...
which is Christian. I mean, like, it's supposed to be open door policy and helpfulness with Christianity, that you help poor people and you help people in need. And now there's, excuse me, like, Muslim Syrian refugees that are, like, coming over, and they're like, no, we shouldn't let them in, blah blah blah, they're gonna be all terrorists because they're Muslim, etc., etc. Is that a tree monster?
Yeah, we've talked about it before. What now?
I thought one of the...
No, I don't see a tree monster.
Tree was a tree monster.
No, we're fine. We've talked about othering a number of times on this show, and that's exactly it. It's easy, and if there's one recurring theme on our show, it's that. It's easy to sympathize with people who are like you, and the further someone gets from being similar to you, the harder it is to empathize. Yeah. And so the people in question who are complaining about this the most are the people who are perhaps not incapable, but unwilling? Have no desire. Yeah, unwilling to view this... like, they feel they have sufficient reason to not bother to think critically about this religion. Every time something happens where there's a attack or something, then everyone gets up and says, oh, every Muslim I know should apologize for this heinous act. And why aren't we hearing from, like, the Muslims that this is bad? But Christians don't apologize for stuff like Dylan Roof.
Yeah.
Like, when it's... Minority communities have this all the time. When a member of the majority commits a crime, they are an individual. When a member of a minority commits a crime, it's reflective poorly on every minority.
Yeah, it's crap.
And that's the worst of othering.
The rabbit noise is really not good, though.
The screaming rabbit?
Yeah. Did you know that I heard this is an urban legend, that they used to use rabbit screams to torture people?
because they sound like human screams.
They sound like baby screams. I've actually never heard any of my rabbits scream.
I think that's a good thing. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, we're very careful.
Well done.
But yeah, it just grinds my gears that this fucking happens and that Donald Trump is like the kingpin of xenophobia, basically, and that other people are like going along with it. Ugh.
I think it's important to note that, like, it's easy to say Donald Trump kingpin of xenophobia or whatever, but he's really not that unusual to a lot of America right now. Not even, as you were saying, Bill Maher, we're not even just talking the Republican Party. A lot of America still thinks that for some reason it is okay to discriminate against another culture simply because you haven't bothered to do your research.
Well, I think that part of it does come from things like ISIS and things like that. Like, a lot of the... And I don't want to apologize for this. Like, I still think it's bullshit.
No, you're our resident apologist, so carry on.
Oh, god damn it. It's too late now, isn't it?
Yep.
It's like, I'm not racist, but this is the same way of starting out. I don't want to be an apologist, but...
Yeah, not all religions.
Not all religions. Except really
not all
religions.
Islamophobes.
I think all religions are kind of wacky. And right now, there is a lot of really bad things going down with, you know, the whole Islamic State. And that's in the news a lot. And so I think that, you know, the other 1.3 billion Muslims that are just normal fucking people are not in the news right now. And so people have, like, this idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's circular reasoning, because the reason that, like, ISIS gets in the news and Golden Dawn doesn't is because when you put them in the news, you create... It is a self-generating news source. By putting ISIS in the news when people are already afraid of Muslims, so they don't put the Afghan refugees in the news. All those refugees we created in Afghanistan, waging the war there, they don't end up in the news because it won't generate more news. So who ends up in the news? ISIS ends up in the news because it's what people want to hear.
It's crap. Well, that's crap. Anger. What can you do, though? I mean, like, how... I guess another reason is that you have to put so much more work into knowing about these things, knowing about the Afghani, you know, camps, refugee camps. And, like, I've seen pictures of the Syrian camps, but not of the others. You know what I mean?
Afghanistan has lost so many people to refugees. They are beginning to be worried that they will be unable to rebuild their country once, like, the fighting stops. Because there will be an insufficient population in Afghanistan. And that is directly America's fault.
Not great. But also it leaves the power vacuum.
Well, the only people there are the political people, basically. Like, the current president put out the call today, well, not today specifically, put out the call recently to say, please stop leaving Afghanistan, we'll try to do better, but people need to be here before we can improve things. Like, it's the Atlas Shrugged problem of, yeah, you can build a community of all the world's greatest inventors or whatever, all the great minds, but who builds the buildings and who scrubs the toilets and stuff? You need people to do those jobs, because they're the ones who free up time. Like, the political class only works so long as there are still people to do construction. Because once the roads stop operating...
The population.
Exactly, because once the roads stop working, they can't get to work. And they can't get out of their house, and they, like, once the farmers stop farming, they can't get food anymore. Like, because they aren't going to go out and kill their own food.
Yeah. They have politics to do. Is there a little pond there? Whoa!
Yeah.
It makes me feel alive. What the heck? What even was that?
Don't worry about it.
Look at all these bunnies.
That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. people like news that is easy to digest, and the idea of having an evil villain class of people in our lives is something people like. They want Muslims to be bad guys because then you have someone you can have an other you can measure yourself against, say, I'm the good guy because I'm not this. You're not the good guy because you do something particularly good. You're the good guy because you're not the bad guy, essentially.
That's so crap. God, I hate that reasoning.
Yeah, but it's super common.
I feel like being a good person is similar to being part of a religion, in that it's something that you should be active in. Did you just trap
I would
that
agree
rabbit?
with you. Maybe. Don't worry about it.
Poor bunny.
Yeah, it's.
He's gonna
But
eat the trap.
your life is. Yeah, your life is easier when you can just say, because there is this evil class. It's. You know, it all kind of ties back together. Like when you talk about racism, people like to think they're not racist because they don't run around shouting racial epithets.
Yeah.
As opposed to the fact that you don't acknowledge systemic racism still makes you racist.
Yeah. Okay, so closing thoughts. It's time for closing thoughts in this wonderful wormhole of a land. Where are the beefalo? I was promised beefalo.
I'm trying to find them, I swear. That's why I went through the portal, in fact.
Okay.
I was hoping it would take me where the buffalo roam.
Or it's jackalopes. Jackalopes and beefalo. Whoa! That noise is really scary.
Welcome
feel
to
alive.
Don't Starve.
Oh, there's a bunny in a trap.
We're gonna eat well tonight.
Oh, womp womp. Well, rabbit is delicious. I don't know. That's a topic for another day. It just is like, it's hard to do this because I got in an argument with one of my family members the other day about this, and about also racism, and also like a lot of other things I've been talking about today. And this person was talking about people that are Muslim that are violent, and people that were in Ferguson apparently teaching people how to riot and things. And I'm like, I have not seen any good sources for that, so I don't super believe it. And I just don't know where you're getting all of this and blah blah blah. And he's just like, I don't even know, Zero. I don't know. I think the most frustrating thing is that there's people like this so frequently, and it's hard for me because I do think that they have the validity of people in religion are crazy, but I think that they are frequently, and I think that they are being overly selective. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, because they don't want to think their religion is crazy.
Well, no. Zero, that noise is so bad. Please stop cooking the rabbits. No!
We need food.
It's sad. It's so sad.
You see what I put up with every week when you demand to play this game?
The rest of it is delightful. Also, did you
Except for the
notice
murder part.
Except for the murdering rabbits part. Did you notice that his hair changes on how he feels?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It is. It's good design.
It's a great design. So, it's just frustrating to me, and I don't really know where to go with it. And I think that that's part of what is frustrating, because I can't get this person to be shouting angry. Like, that happens too easily that they become angry very quickly. And I don't want them to be angry because it's bad for their health. Like, it's literally bad for their health.
Yeah, although that is its own problem.
Yeah.
I'm not saying make them angry, but I am saying, like, that's one of the reasons we started this, right? And we've had our own experiments with having other people on, and we've kind of been our own demonstration. It's hard to have these conversations in such a way, like, it's not easy to have these conversations, and it is disingenuous to act like it is. But that doesn't mean these conversations aren't necessary. They just hit this nerve where you are talking to people about things they don't want to think about because a certain level of thinking about them leaves you only with the impression that you're not a good person. And I was talking with Rose about no, well, not this. When we were going down to see the Star Wars exhibit at the EMP Museum, I was talking about how Donald Trump is having problems in the polls right now because he can no longer punch up against his rivals. And I think we've talked about punching up before, but
A little, but I don't really remember.
Essentially, by being front runner, Donald Trump starts to look more petty when he lashes out at people. So he's got to calm it down a bit and be more reasonable more of the time, which is his weaker area, although he's also somewhat skilled at that. And she was like, hasn't he always been punching down? I mean, immigrants and stuff. And I had to explain that to his target audience, immigrants have the power.
Yeah.
Like, they are the evil, like, usurpers of the land. And so he's punching up when he attacks them to his target audience.
But he's also punching up against his other, like, opponents because, like you were saying, he is, like, or he was considered effectively an underdog because, quote-unquote, he said what he thought, you know?
Yeah, he was the joke candidate.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just that they considered him the underdog, it's that they actively considered him a non-serious candidate who could never win.
Oh god, I hope. I think, okay, so my closing thought is that the person that I was talking to about Islamophobia is Islamophobic and is also a Trumpite. Well, I feel the burn, and he was talking about, well, at least Bernie Sanders, or at least Trump, will, you know, he's not afraid to do things. He's like, he strikes terror in other people, and he's not, you know, scared to act out. And I'm like, but you should be scared. Like, if we fuck up, then that's really bad. To me, I think that it is better to not act than to commit to a wrong course of action. And that's my fear with Bernie, or with Trump. And with Islamophobia.
I don't disagree with the premise you just set out. I'm also a believer that once you decide to act, you should go through with it and accept the consequences, which, I mean, that comes up every time we talk about intentionality.
Yeah.
And I don't think Trump does a great job of accepting the consequences when he acts. It's always kind of someone else's fault when it goes wrong, and his, like heads I win, tails you lose with him. But if you act without thinking, you end up with the refugee crisis we currently have.
Yeah.
Like, everything that's going on now is directly the result of our policies for the past 10 years. We basically took a bunch of we basically took a bunch of countries that were just made up by imperial powers in the early 1900s. And then we started attacking them for reasons.
Well, they were like attacking each other or something.
No, I mean, basically, Iraq and Iran were not going to destroy each other anytime soon.
I was
they were going to kind of
honestly.
Well, there were certainly a certain level of internal tensions between the various countries.
Yeah, what is that?
But
mean?
It's a ring of mushrooms. Yeah, I'm going to kind of hang out here till dusk falls and pick them all, because they're pretty good food sources. But first I'm going to get some gold.
Woohoo! First, though, I think that we should call it a day.
Alright, you want me to save? I'm trying to find you beefalo.
Oh, I know,
I found
you worked so hard.
Yeah, look at how far I've wandered. Actually, there's lots of gold here, so I don't really need to rush it. Alright, so I'm going to pause.
I feel like I hear them or something. Go south.
I've already checked south. I mean, I'll go south if you want.
Oh no,
but...
this is like not grassy area. It's just dirt area. I'm sorry. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's pause and call it a day.
Alright, well, let me show you what I need gold for. See the science machine?
No.
Give it a sec.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I needed gold and rocks for the science machine.
You're only at 3 of 4 rocks right now.
That's fine. I just got more. But now I'm actually going to save the game. I said quit. All right. So, I mean, our end thoughts are that there has to be a way to talk to people about this. And you haven't really found it yet?
Figured it out yet. Gosh darn it. Blah. I don't like the thing of defriending people. I understand that sometimes you need to. Sometimes it's better for your health to do that. But I feel like as someone that this, for me and my family, it does not cause me a great deal of stress or anxiety. Other than I just don't know how to make them see reason. I feel like if I didn't try to talk to people about this, I would be neglectful. Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't be able to call myself a good person.
There is an important sense that, you know, so the short answer is you are not wrong. It is important to talk to people about these things. And to a certain extent, there's a timing relation to it. Like, it's the primary season, so things are extra heated right now. Mm-hmm. But also, not everyone's going to listen to you. And I don't necessarily defriend people for my health. Not that I ever used Facebook. But in a lot of parts, it's just there are people who are not going to listen, and they view you as having insufficient authority.
That might be true.
And you can't change everyone's mind.
But
and you have to look at what you do.
I want everyone to at least, they don't have to agree, but they have to just not harm people. And not stand by while people are harming people.
I think it would be nice if everyone could just participate in polite discourse. It just doesn't, like, our society is not currently set up for it. We actually discourage politeness and discourse. Jeb Bush doesn't want us using so many big words. Not political correctness is not a thing. Does not exist. But that's for a different time. So we're going to wrap it up?
Yeah. Okay. So
you want to read us out?
I was just going to do that.
Read us out, Chicory!
Okay. So please like and subscribe our YouTube videos.
So
what?
That was excessively harsh.
That was excessive.
I'm sorry.
Please like and subscribe our YouTube video, and please hit us up on Twitter. I am 123Chicory, and 0 is at 0Utopia. Thank you for listening!
Bye!